Chapter 53. 3 days later, Bach packed his meager but growing possessions and left his room at the royal palace for the final time. His work as an emergency healer in the palace infirmary had ended. The patients wounded in the Battle of Ithanel either had recovered enough to be discharged, or they would require daily care for the rest of their lives. The infirmary's normal staff could manage without his assistance. The night before, Bach announced his intentions to return to Sola Valley at an informal dinner gathering on the fourth floor. Isabella and Aventil were there, as was Kotarian. Wingate and Umra also attended in their official capacities, but Isabella made sure they joined in the meal and conversation. Tavano declined the invitation, which relieved Bach. He needed time and distance from his one-time mentor. In Isbiano's absence, Isabella shared some good news. Although the house had not yet named a new emissary of magic, at Isabella's recommendation, Kotarian would serve as a liaison between the new emissary and the king. In that job, he would foster better relations between the crown and the house of magic.
It's the obvious choice.
He smiled as he swished his full glass of red wine.
Who would be better suited for such an important role?
The gathering didn't break up until late in the night. No one wanted it to end. Finally, though, Bach stood up to leave, knowing he had a long ride ahead of him the next day. Isabella grabbed his arm. "Wait, there is something I must give you. You will be at the stables early tomorrow morning." "At dawn's first light. But a gift? You owe me no reward." "This is something I want you to have. Sleep well, my friend." "Good night, Isabella." What type of gift does one receive from the princess? I'm sure I'll never be able to guess. Might as well wait until morning to find out. Isabella waited for Bach at the stables early the following morning, just as the sky began to brighten. She sat on a bench outside of Becky's stall, sipping a mug of coffee. Steam curled up around her face as she brought the cup to her full lips. "Good morning, Bach. I brought you one, too." Isabella handed Bach a matching ceramic mug emblazoned with the Inishari crest. He thanked her, and she stood up in front of him, always taller than her diminutive height suggested.
Mmm, perfect.
Bach smiled in response. "Thank you. This will give me a boost for the ride back to Sola Valley." "I believe this will have the same effect." Isabella reached into her silk purse and produced a tightly rolled scroll, sealed in wax with her royal seal, and tied with a purple ribbon. It appeared similar to the message Bach received at his family's blacksmith shop, the summons that started him on this unreal adventure. "I don't understand," he said. "Just read it. You will." And so he did. "Let it be known that from now forth the practice of high magic is open to all classes in Emerenia. The House of Magic shall devise and submit a written proposal for incorporating apprentices from the landowning and serving classes in its recruiting and training processes. This is the word of Princess Isabella Inishari, 87th Monarch of Emerenia." With a knowing wink, she drank from her mug. "As we speak, messengers are on their way across the country to deliver this news. There's even one heading to Sola Valley." His hands shaking, Bach read and reread the scroll, making sure his mind interpreted the words correctly. She had defied centuries of tradition and revealed the royal family's most painful secret, and created new opportunities and greater equality for Emerenia's serving class. Finally satisfied that he had read it properly, Bach tucked the scroll in his healer's bag, lest his tears smudge the ink. "Isabella, Thank you, my friend. This is a gift beyond measure. Serving class children will never know in Emerenia where the House of Magic has a closed door. But beyond that, she heard what I said about my people. She listened and cared enough to make it right. To paraphrase my father, I needed a country healer to remind me of what is just." Bach put a hand to his forehead. Her father! What type of trouble will Isabella be in when he realizes what she's done? Isabella laughed. I know what you are thinking, Bok. I am certain father will not be pleased. She swung her feet out in front of the bench. But deep inside, he knows I am right. Plus, he cannot be too mad with his only child. Bok felt the tension drain from his body. He leaned against one of the stable's sturdy wooden support posts, particularly when that daughter and her friends just saved his life and the entire kingdom. Exactly. With that settled, I do not understand why you must leave Ithanel, Bok. Can you not reconsider your decision? It is as I said. Sola Valley needs its healer. I have a duty to my people. Isabella nodded, then looked down into the swirling light brown liquid in her cup. Of course. I understand the burden of duty. I will miss you, Barkomat. And I you, Princess. He started to move toward Becky, paused, then turned back to Isabella. Of course, I never said I could not visit. I would not miss Aventel's celebration of 19 summers in a few weeks. Oh, and Kotarian has agreed to train me in high magic. His exact words last night were, "There is so much Bach doesn't know, I am not sure he is capable of becoming a competent sorcerer. But if anyone can break through his lifetime of ignorance, it would be me." Anyway, I am to come to the royal palace every third week to have my confidence shattered and parentage insulted. I shall have time for a royal consult in between humiliations, so get used to seeing me around your house. She laughed, perhaps even guffawed, if a princess may do such a thing. Bok, you deliberately waited to tell me that. Do your parents know what a mischievous son they have raised? If so, I may have to tell them in person. In person? You mean you plan to visit Sola Valley? Isabella nodded. If I am to be queen, I must see Imarinia beyond the majestic city of Ithanel. I thought Sola Valley could be an appropriate place to begin this exploration. That is, if you might recommend a knowledgeable local guide. I believe that can be arranged, Your Majesty. That will also give me the chance to meet little Noji and to compare notes with Yata. I suspect she has some interesting stories to share. With that, they hugged one more time, and this time, any conflicted feelings Bach may have once had were gone. Only warmth remained. I came to Ithanel as a country healer, and I leave changed in so many ways, but none more important than having gained a beloved friend. Along with my family's love, Isabella's friendship is the greatest gift I have ever received, and I don't have to choose between them. He rode away from the royal palace with that friend, the crown princess of Imarinia, waving farewell until she faded into the distance. Bach already missed her. Bach patted the saddlebag on Becky's side. He felt the wooden box with Noji's dolls under his fingers. It hadn't all been a dream. The road back to Sola Valley gave him plenty of time to think, and he would take full advantage. But on this already humid morning, a lone thought dominated his thoughts. How in the world am I ever going to explain all of this to Yata?